Hi, this is Josh with Resort TV 1. Today, I'm taking you to Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, and showing you the things you need to know before you go to Universal Studios here. We hope you enjoy the video. The first thing that you need to know before you go to Universal Studios is that there are 2 parking garages here, and they're absolutely huge, so you need to pay close attention to where you parked. Here we're in Spider-Man, row 554. The 5 on the left stands for the 5th floor, row 54, so definitely take note of that. And you can also see another reminder there as you exit down towards the escalators. And you need to go down to the 3rd floor to head towards the attractions. So we'll go down 2 floors and we'll end up at the attraction entry and security area. Here you can see all the signs pointing toward attractions. Just follow the signs. And of course we're through security now. I can't show that on the video, but security is pretty standard. It's like a airport x-ray machine, so just make sure everything in there is according to Universal's policies, and you can find all those online. They do allow selfie sticks here, by the way. And here we are at the main gate. And another important thing to know before you go to Universal Studios here is to buy your tickets before you get to the park. This is because you can save a lot of time standing in line by buying your tickets online or on the phone, online being the easiest way. That way you're going to skip all of these lines here. Now this is actually a pretty tame line, but you can skip lots of lines and save lots of time just by making sure that you order your tickets online. And you can even see the guest services line for people that did will call. And there's will call kiosks there as well. So there are machines to help, but again, you still have to wait in line. And again, this is a pretty mild line for this time of day. It's about 11 o'clock. But definitely just order online and then you can walk right to the turnstiles. And that line isn't moving very fast, so it's definitely going to take some time out of your day. So definitely save time and order online. And here we are at Islands of Adventure, and you can see another line here. It's pretty long, and it's going to take a while to get through. So while everyone else is enjoying their time at the park, people that didn't order their tickets online are waiting in line and wasting some of their precious vacation time. So if you did buy your tickets online, all you have to do is head over here, past these administration buildings and ticket areas, right here where all these people are walking, and you can head straight to the turnstiles, and they can actually scan your printouts that you printed online. So all you have to do is just head straight down here, scan your printed ticket, and you're in the park. So one of the next important things that you need to know before you go is that Universal's FastPass system is actually a lot different than what Disney offers. And they don't actually call it FastPass, they call it the Express Pass. And it's actually a separate ticket that you buy when you come into the park. So if you want to do the Express Pass, you pay a separate fee, and it's actually variable based on the time of the year. So Saturdays, of course, are more expensive, and summer is more expensive than, say, maybe the middle of February and things like that. So I can't give you the price right now, you just have to check on the day. But what an Express Pass does, basically like a Fast Pass at Disney, except for that you can use it all day an unlimited amount of time. So in that way it's better, even though you do have to pay for it. So if you see here at Transformers, the line is 50 minutes, but if you have the Express Pass, you just head right in here to the left like these people are doing, and you walk by, you bypass the 50-minute wait. So even though, yes, it is an extra expense, I actually would recommend doing this, especially if it's your first time, so that you're not frustrated with the lines and things like that. And another important thing to know is that if you stay in a Universal resort here on property, you actually get a free Express Pass for your whole family. And again, those passes are unlimited use. So it's not like Disney where you schedule the Fast Passes and you get 3 a day and then you can get 1 more and there's a certain time and whatnot. You literally can go whenever you want, as many times as you want, and just jump right in the line. So even though, yes, there is a charge to it, a lot of people like it because there's no restrictions and you don't have to plan your whole day around a certain attraction unless it breaks down or something. So again, Express Pass, something to think about, or thinking about staying in a Universal resort. And also at Universal resorts, you do get the extra magic hours just like you do at Disney, where you get early entrance into the park. I don't believe there's late entrance, but just early entrance into the park at some points. And another thing you should know before you go to Universal Studios is that it's actually a very beautiful park. This is the Studios Park. Islands of Adventure is beautiful as well. There's a lot of water. and just a lot of scenic viewpoints. So even though I know Disney is known for being beautiful, Universal is no less beautiful. And also you can see the fountains here for their new Cinematic Moments show. I believe that's what it's called, or something to that effect, that just started here a week or two ago. And another important thing to know before you go is that Universal has some pretty intense thrill rides. This is the Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, a lot more intense than a lot of what's at Disney. So if you're used to going to Disney, make sure that you check all the warnings for each attraction and make sure that you're in good health and able to ride, because that is something maybe some people don't think about, that these rides are a lot more intense, or at least several of them are. All right, and another important thing to know before you go is that some of the newest rides, such as Race Through New York with Jimmy Fallon, have this virtual line. So it's basically a virtual line where you go and you get a time to come back for your ride experience. So it's very similar to Disney's Fast Pass. You come up to these kiosks here, and you put in your park ticket and follow the directions and do all that important stuff, and then you end up getting a time to come back for the ride, and you don't have to wait in line. It's a very minimal line. So this virtual line is free. It's included with every ticket, so be sure to take advantage of that. And I do also want to make it clear there are only a few attractions right now that have the virtual line, so this is not available on every attraction, unfortunately. I don't know if they have plans to expand it in the future. Express Pass is at every attraction, I believe, besides a couple of the Harry Potter ones. So it is really, really worth it to pay the extra, but the virtual line is also worth looking into for the attractions that it is available for. And again, the virtual line is free. The Express Pass is a separate charge. The next thing you need to know before you go to the Universal Orlando Resort is some information about the Wizarding World of Harry Potter parks. First, this is the newest one, Diagon Alley. And actually, a lot of people that walk by here don't even really know that there's anything here other than this main street. This is the main street that goes past Fast and the Furious and all kinds of different things there. And a lot of people just walk right on by. And while they do have the night bus here, famous from the third Harry Potter movie, the main attraction here is, of course, Diagon Alley itself. It's a full recreation of Diagon Alley from the films. And to get there, you actually need to go through this passageway. Even though there's not a sign or anything else, they're trying to keep it authentic. So you go through this passageway, come around here past the broken brick wall, and you are in Diagon Alley. And this is a pretty big area, but a lot of people really don't know what's back here if they don't take the time to look at the map or etc. So definitely don't miss this. If you've been here before, you know this is here. That's not a huge tip, but I have heard people walking by here saying, oh, there's nothing back there. And I really feel bad. So I want to make sure everybody knows how to get back to Diagon Alley. And another thing you need to know, as you can see pretty clearly here, these Wizarding World of Harry Potter areas are very crowded, and they're not super wide as far as the walkways and the shops and things like that. So just be prepared to be patient, and make sure that you leave plenty of time to see everything. And if it's too busy, just try coming back later. Sometimes later at night or earlier in the morning are the best times to experience these Harry Potter areas. Also, the dragon breathes fire. Let's see if we can get him to do it. Yeah, so if you hear the dragon making noises, you definitely want to stick around and see that. It's pretty impressive. And the next thing that you need to know before you go, just like Disney and most other theme parks, it's best to get here early, even before the park opens, for the shortest waits. And you can be ready when the park actually officially opens, and you'll be able to get on most of the most popular attractions, such as the Escape from Gringotts, right away. And then when everybody else gets here, you can do the less popular attractions then. So right now, this is a 60-minute wait at about noon, and sometimes it's even longer. So it's best to get here early to avoid the crowds. Also, do keep in mind that the hotel guests actually get in an hour early on most days. And you can check the operating hours on the park app, and we'll talk about that more later. The hours do vary by time of the year and things like that, but generally, the resort guests get in at 7 a.m. and the regular park guests get in at 8. So I know that's early, but if you want to avoid most of the lines, getting here early is a great idea. And another important thing to know before you go is that some of the attractions, such as the Escape from Gringotts here, have single rider lines. So this one actually has 3 lines. It has a regular entrance on the left, Universal Express in the middle, and single riders right here. So if you don't mind being split up, you can save quite a bit of time off your wait time by using the single rider lines. And one of the things I mentioned earlier was that these attractions are crowded, and the stores are not big. So this is Ollivander's wand shop, and you can tell there's just not a lot of room in here. So just be prepared to pack your extra patience and maybe come back if a store is too crowded. It literally took me almost 2 minutes just to get into the store just now. So you can tell just how little space there is in here. So just be prepared for that. The next thing that you need to know before you go is that there are 2 parks, and I mentioned this earlier, there are 2 parks that have Harry Potter attractions in them. So both the Islands of Adventure and the Universal Studios Park, both of them have attractions for Harry Potter in them. So if you want to see all of the Harry Potter attractions, you have to get a Park Hopper Pass so that you can visit both parks. And this is the Hogwarts Express that takes you over from Universal Studios to Islands of Adventure, or more specifically from Diagon Alley to Hogsmeade and Hogwarts. Of course, the train also brings you back from Hogwarts all the way over here to Diagon Alley, or from Islands of Adventure to Universal Studios. It goes both ways. There is sometimes a wait time. Right now it's 25 minutes. That's not too bad. It usually is less later in the afternoon. Mornings are usually the longest lines. Right now 25 minutes isn't too bad, but they will check your ticket here because you are actually going to be entering another park. You'll be dropped off right inside of Islands of Adventure. So there's actually a place to check your ticket inside of here. And if you don't have a Park Hopper, you won't be able to even get on the Hogwarts Express. So that's another thing. Really, if you want to see Harry Potter, if you're a fan of Harry Potter, you need to have the Park Hopper Pass so that you can see both Harry Potter parks and ride the Hogwarts Express. So King's Cross Station is really beautiful, but you can also see where it's basically just a regular turnstile, and you put your ticket in and they let you through and you can get in line for the attraction. And go to Islands of Adventure and Hogsmeade. So we're through the turnstile there and we're headed towards the train. This doesn't really look like a 25-minute wait, but you can see that there is quite a large queue here. The nice thing about it is it's very cool and very air conditioned, so keep that in mind, because even though there may be a long wait for this, if you want to cool down a little bit, it's a great way to cool down. And another important thing to know before you go, and this is for all theme parks, is the wait times are not always accurate. This said 25 minutes. We're right here at the low platform, so there's no way this was 25 minutes. And the Hogwarts Express ride is a lot of fun, so definitely recommend it. And just be prepared for a few surprises. I didn't want to give them away, but it's just a really, really fun ride. Well, here we are in Hogsmeade Village. And by the way, everybody wants to get a picture in front of the Hogwarts Express, but because of the way the track is laid out, you can't actually get a picture very well in front of the one that you ride on, but they do have this one here. So if you want to pose for a picture with the conductor, you can do that. Another thing you need to know before you go is that the Butterbeer here in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is absolutely amazing, and you need to try it. So try the Butterbeer when you come. It's awesome. And if this particular sales point is too busy, sometimes you can actually go here inside of the Three Broomsticks, especially after lunchtime. Lunchtime, this is very busy. But after lunchtime, you can usually go into the Three Broomsticks and get a Butterbeer much faster than you can out here. So just a tip if you want a Butterbeer. And we have now arrived at one of the most famous places in all of Universal Studios Orlando, and that is Hogwarts Castle, where the Forbidden Journey of Harry Potter is. It's a ride. It's a great ride. And speaking of rides, one of the other things that you need to know before you go is that most rides at Universal do not allow filming. In fact, almost all the rides, filming is prohibited. Most of that's due to copyright and safety issues and things like that. So if you're coming here planning to get a bunch of video of different attractions and rides, you may be disappointed because they don't allow it on most of their attractions. So bringing a cell phone to take some pictures and snapshots is fine. Bringing a big camera is probably not necessary because they don't allow a lot of filming and video. And now we're at the Incredible Hulk coaster. And one of the things that a lot of people don't know when they come here to Universal is that you cannot take anything on the ride. That doesn't mean no backpacks or anything like that. That actually means no cell phones, no nothing. You have to actually put everything in a locker. So you do go through a metal detector generally, and you have to prove to them that you don't have anything in your pockets. So not only can you not film on these coasters, you actually can't even have your phone in the line. So that does make the waits a little bit longer. Now the good news is that the lockers here are free. They're right across the street here from the attraction. So the lockers are free for 1 hour. If you leave it any longer than that, then you have to pay a little extra. So lockers are free, but you do have to use those to get on any of the coasters. They do also have free lockers for some of the water rides as well, so that is at least nice. And again, they're only free for a limited time. I believe it's an hour. So make sure you watch your time so that you're not charged. And the last thing I'll tell you that's very important to know before you go is that while you can hop between parks on the Hogwarts Express like I did earlier, you can also walk between parks very easily. Here's the entrance to Islands of Adventure where I just was. And if you just keep walking this way, right around the lake, you'll get to Universal Studios, the second park. So it's a pretty easy walk, and it's something you can't do at Disney by walking between two parks. And actually I have to correct myself already, because you can walk between Hollywood Studios and Epcot, but it's not nearly as easy as walking here between Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. It's a pretty short walk, and it's easy and straightforward. Just walk right by the Hard Rock here and you're pretty much at the entrance. You can see the archway there in the background already. It's not a long walk, maybe 10 minutes. Well, that's all for now. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we hope you got some important tips and tricks that will help you plan your trip to Universal Studios here in Orlando, Florida. So be sure to leave us a like and a comment, and let us know if you have any other tips or tricks that we didn't mention here, or if you use some of the tips and tricks that we also mentioned in the video. Also, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and click the bell to enable notifications so you're notified every time we go live or have a new video. Also, be sure to check out our sponsors, MickeyBlog.com and MickeyTravels.com, for the best in free Disney vacation planning advice. Also, check out WindowRepairParts.us and use the coupon code ResortTV1 for 20% off your purchase at Window Repair Parts. Also, be sure to check out our newest sponsor, MainStreetDVCResale.com. See how easy it is to sell your DVC commission-free. So for now, have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Now that you've finished watching this video, be sure that you're subscribed so that you can get all of the latest updates. Also, check out some other great videos on our channel. Have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Bye-bye.